إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعين ونستغفره نعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها فإن كل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار وإنما توعدون لآت وما أنتم بمعجزين. Praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and He's the only one worthy of praise. I seek His help, His guidance, and His forgiveness. I believe in Him and I trust Him. I seek refuge on Almighty Allah from the evil of our passions. Indeed, whomsoever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guides him to Al-Islam, no one can mislead him after Allah. And whomsoever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put him astray, no one can guide him after Allah. I testify, O believers, that there is no deity worthy of worship except Allah Rabbil Alameen, and I testify that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is his messenger and the seal of all the prophets. O Muslims, you must know that the best speech is the speech of Almighty Allah, which is the Quran. The best guidance is the course of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, which is his sunnah. The words of all affairs is innovation and addition to the religion of Islam. Indeed, every addition to the religion of Islam will lead to hellfire. I adjure you as well as myself to fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the best of your ability. Fear Allah and don't die unless you are in the state of Islam. After this, I greet you all with the greeting of Islam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace and the blessing of Almighty Allah be with you all. I'd like to welcome you all for continuation of our series Tarbiyah, nourishment, discipline, cultivation, according the way of the companions and the tabi'een and the tabi'een. And we're still talking about the subject of Tarbiyah and cultivation in the concept, in the correct understanding that we need to raise the future generation about it. Those who are young among us and those who are old among us, those people who try to work towards the establishment of the proper building of the Islamic Ummah and establishment of the Muslim community, regardless if it's small or large, that they need to take this means and to live by it and to understand it and to teach it and to work on it to bring about a better situation. Otherwise, the illness, the sickness, the weakness of the Ummah is going to continue to be there, no improvement. And when there is illness and sickness, usually, and there's no cure or not taking the cure, things get worse. And this is what we see, the weakness of the Muslim Ummah today everywhere. In Islamic country and in a non-Islamic country, among the youth, among the children, among the women, in their schools, everywhere. So it is very important that we pay attention to our class concerning the cultivation and the nourishment and that we have the proper nourishment that will bring about a solution and remedy for the problem. Our class today constitutes class number 18. This class 18 in Tarbiyah. And one of the most important things that we need to raise our future generation about or upon is being afraid and being careful not to jump to make fatwa. Fatwa is giving Islamic verdict, giving Islamic answer about a question or a situation. This is called fatwa. When you go to ask about legality of something in Islam, it is very, very important that all of us that we be careful of rushing and giving an answer to such a question. The early companions, as well as the Tabi'een and those who came after them, they used to be careful, and they used to dislike and hate to be in this position, to be approached by somebody to question them about what I should do in such a condition, or what is the verdict or the legal answer. Is this haram or not? Is this halal or not? They were not happy for somebody to come to approach them and ask them. We see like Alqamah as example, one of the Tabi'een that is saying that أجرأكم على الفتية أقلكم علما. The one who more rushing to give an Islamic answer about a condition or situation is the least knowledgeable among you. That this is a sign of a person who is not a scholar, or he is not a person who is qualified. Why? Because the seriousness of the matter. Because when you say to the people this is halal or haram, or this makruh, or this not desirable in Islam, that means in actuality you are talking in behalf of Allah. You are talking in behalf of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and this is something very serious. So, as if you're telling the people, this is what Allah meant, this is what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam intended. We see another attitude of some of the Sahaba, may Allah be pleased with them, alaykum salam, like al-Bara. He said, أدركت 20 و100 من الأنصار من أصحاب رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يسأل أحدهم عن المسألة وما منهم من رجل إلا ود أن أخاه كفاه. He said, I was live to see about 120 among the companions and the Ansar. I was still alive, and I was present among 120 from the Ansar. None of them from those Sahaba that somebody will question him about something in the deen unless he will wish that his brother or the next person he will give the answer, not him. That means they were used to push it away from their way. They don't want to be the one in the front to answer somebody's question. Because the matter is serious. The matter is serious. It's sufficient that I meet Allah with my sin. I don't want to understand to meet Allah carrying the sin of somebody that I maybe mislead him by giving the answer. Okay? Because it takes a lot to be able and capable to answer Islamic question. And sometimes it can be to somebody, the answer is different from the next person due to his situation, okay? Or due to what is surrounding the case. So it's not to understand like a stamp that you put it on the same paper, like a notary. Somebody come and say, I want to notarize this paper, and you put the same stamp on every paper, you see? And I give you example like a month ago that I need to notarize a paper, but the paper was going outside of United States. So now you need not a notary only from your local area, you need a notary from your local area and another one from the court in the city, and after this from the Ministry of the Interior Affairs or whatever, and after this to go to Washington with a whole chain, okay? But before, you understand, I assume that it's a matter of notarizing. Anyone have a notary stamp can stamp it, and they say it, okay? But it took me approximately about 45 days until I finish the legality of one single piece of paper. So sometimes it's not a matter of you answering a question. Say, brother, everybody know that Salah is 5 times a day, 4 rak'at for Dhuhr. This is true. But what about if somebody, a new Muslim, it doesn't know how to make Salah, and say, I don't, say, no, brother, you could not. You have to read the Fatiha, but he doesn't know to read the Fatiha. Somebody maybe say, okay, don't make Salah, or that you have to know the Fatiha now, or you be a sinner. You see? So there is things, it can even make the answer not the same as you assuming. That symbol, okay? So here is this Sahabi say, I was alive until I was witness and sat with 120 among the Sahaba, the companions. Who can be more knowledgeable than the Sahaba? No way. Okay, in their totality, there is no any society can be more knowledgeable. But when a person comes to ask a question, 121 sitting, each one of them waiting and quiet, hoping that the next person, he will answer, that not him. And it continues like this until come to the first one again. Okay? Can you imagine, you understand, a big room full with those Sahaba? And somebody said, guys, okay, I said to my wife, I was angry and said to my wife, you are khul' or you are a divorce. What's my case? Okay? This is something very serious. Especially understand about marriage and divorce and these things and legality. And this person, okay, brother, she is divorced. The other person, no, brother, because she was in menses. The other person said, no, brother, because this iddah and you took it back. And everybody was quiet. Looked at the other person, waiting for him to say something. The other person looked at the other person and continued like this until come to the first one again. And this shows you the seriousness of the matter. Ibn Mas'ud, may Allah be pleased with him, see, Ibn Mas'ud, and this is Sahabi, say, the one who gives an answer for every Islamic question, it must be a crazy. Something wrong with his mind. Okay? Sometimes we jump, they say, yeah, brother, yeah, I was in a class, I heard the Imam say this. Okay? We have to be very careful. He say, a person who have an answer for every question, Islamic question comes to him, something wrong with his mind. Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, may Allah be pleased with him, is saying, or rahmatullah alayhi say, أعلم الناس بالفتوى أسكتهم. the most knowledgeable person concerning giving a legal answer in Islam is the one who remains silent. Why? Because he knows the seriousness. You may have the knowledge, but you don't have the knowledge of the subject, but you don't have the knowledge of the what you're doing. What you're doing, you're talking in behalf of Allah. You saying Allah said or Allah forbid. And this is something very serious. Sufyan al-Thawri, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy in his soul, said, I was live when the fuqaha, the most knowledgeable people among us, you used to dislike to give an answer to a question in Islam unless they found nobody else in town can give answer other than them. That means became a necessity now. The person wanted everybody in Colombia. You could not find anybody. So now Muhammad Adly has no choice. Now he's going to say something about it. Okay? But nowadays, even with this fast communication and connections and with each other, Muhammad Adly can pick up the phone and call Amja as example, or Brother Ghassan, or somebody he understands that more knowledgeable. But it says that a person will come and they hate to answer it. So the person go all over the city, and after this, hey, I could not find anybody else. You're the only everybody telling me to come back to you. So now in this case, he has no choice and tells them, to the best of my knowledge, this is what you understand I believe to be about this agent. Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal rahmatullah alayhi said, the person who given a fatwa answering Islamic question, he have to understand that he acting in position of signing in behalf of Allah. Okay? Like understand, I'm not in the mosque, and now Brother Habib will come and understand and say, okay, right, sign, you understand, in my behalf as a assistant of the Imam or deputy. Okay? So when you give in fatwa, you in actuality putting yourself in a position that you saying something in behalf of Allah, signing something, you understand, in behalf of Allah. And this is very, very serious matter that we have to be very, very, very careful of it. Ibn Sirin rahmatullahi alayh, when somebody used to ask him, and Ibn Sirin is so great scholar, but when somebody used to ask him about the Islamic question, his face turned colors. Okay? When somebody asks him, is this halal or is this haram, can I do this or not? His face turned to colors. Imam al-Nakha'i, rahmatullahi alayh, he used to say to the person, you didn't find somebody else to ask, you come to ask me? He said, if the time come to be, I am the only one have to be asked in the city, this is a very bad time for me. He said, try to find somebody else. And those people, you understand that we could not imagine them in the knowledge. You can imagine nowadays, okay, that somebody took Shahada a year ago or 2 years ago, and now he built his own mosque, and now he's giving the fatwa and all things, okay? Listen to this word of wisdom say, إذا سئلت عن مسألة فلا يكن همك تخليص السائل ولكن تخليص نفسك أولا. When somebody asks you Islamic question, don't make your main worry to give him a delivery. Found a delivery for yourself. The man, he want to get answer. And now you try to give him something so he can be content. He said, no. When somebody asks you Islamic question, your main worry is you, not him. The person, I'm dying, man. I want to know if this is okay. Can I do it or not? No, later for you. You can wait. I have to think about myself. What's going to happen to me before I ask about what's going to happen to you? You want a solution? No, I have to think about saving my own skin from hellfire. So say, don't try to rush trying to help somebody. You need to help yourself first. Because the moment you say something, you're going to be questioned about it. It is a responsibility before Allah. So now, you help him, but you dip yourself maybe in hellfire by giving him the Islamic question. Number 12, from the things that we need to raise our future generation upon, that we need to teach the people the importance of time and how precious time is. People have to realize their life, and every day and every hour and every minute that in their life, that means a lot. Alaykum salam. This is something very important that we need to raise our children upon, our students, future generation. Every Muslim, male and female, adult, child, they need to understand this. And few weeks ago, we heard a khutbah from Brother Mahmoud concerning Surah Al-Asr, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is swearing by the token of the time. وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala swear by something, that means this is something very important. And Allah is getting our attention to pay attention to what He's swearing by. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَالشَّمْسِ وَضُحَاهَا, by the sun, okay? That means the sun, because the greatness of the sun, the benefit of the sun, the reflection on the sun, it tells you about the Creator. So whenever Allah swearing by something, it's something so great, and we have to pay attention to it. So when Allah saying, وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ, by the token of the time, that means times means a lot. And Allah is telling you, pay attention to the time. What is life? What is life other than time? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decrees that you're going to live for 60, 70, 80, whatever it is. So this what 70 years means what? It is time. And every day, every year, every month, every week, every day, every minute, every second that elapse and go away is shorten your life. So that means you're getting closer to your destination. Like a train. Now you're approaching the station. And say you understand you're approaching the station in 5 seconds. Watch, the door will be open. Exit now. This is what it is. So if we pay attention to time, because time is something very important for us. Okay? As a result of this, that he found that munafiqun and kuffar, in the day of judgment, asking Allah, قَالَ رَبِّ ارْجِعُونَ لَعَلِّي أَعْمَلُ صَالِحًا فِي مَا تَرَكْتُ. Say, oh Allah, give me life back. Send me back to life so I will do better than what I did. So he has the time before. 40 years, 50 years, 60. What did he do? Why now? Now when you start to see hellfire, now you start to say, oh Allah, send me be. I will be better, and I will give in charity, I will donate, I will go to the mosque, all this thing. Why you are not doing it now? You see? So time is something very important. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, وَسَخَّرَ لَكُمُ اللَّيْلَ وَالنَّهَارَ وَآتَاكُم مِّن كُلِّ مَا سَأَلْتُمُوهُ وَإِن تَعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ لَا تُحْصُوهَا. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has subjected for your own use the day and the night. What is the day and what is the night? It is time. It is time. Okay? 8 hours and 12 hours, 6 hours and 6, we understand, is a whole. Day and night is nothing except a time. Allah telling you that Allah has subjected for your own use the day and the night. So whatever you could not accomplish during the day, try to accomplish it during the night. Whatever that you fall short that you don't during the night, try to do it during the day. But playing, amusements. No, Allah did not create life for people only to be laughing and playing and running. Okay? Allah had created life and make time for something very important. And He said, and that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had give you from everything that you had asked Him. Okay? And all this for purpose of what? He said, وَإِن تَعُدُّ نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ لَا تُحْصُوهَا. And if you count the favor of Allah, you could not number them. So that means the day and night part of Allah's favor. Okay? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying about that, subjected for you the night and the day, and He gave you from everything that you ask. And after this said, if you try to number the gifts of Allah, you could not number them. So part of the gifts of Allah, that you have time. You have a day and you have a night. You have 24 hours. You have to think how you're going to utilize them. It is very, very important that we keep talk to our children, talk to our wives, talk to our boys, talk to our students, talk to the members of the community about the importance of time. Some of the early Salaf used to say, if someone missed the obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala during the night, so Allah had made a means for him during the day. And if one missed some of the obedience or the good deed during the day, so Allah gave him a other chance in the night. Okay? So that means still there is opportunity for you to catch up. Some people say, okay, brother, I have to run because I have to catch. I have to be back in my office, you understand, at 8 o'clock, at 7 o'clock. It's fine. So as a result of this, it didn't make your sunnah. We understand you made the fard, but you miss it because you have to be in office at certain time. Now, when you are home after 5 and 7 o'clock, can you try to make up for this sunnah as example that you, okay? So Allah gave you a day and night. So whatever that you fall short in the obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala during the day, Allah giving you another alternative. And whatever that, okay, I was tired last night. I came from a long journey. I was driving for 14 hours. I could not make tahajjud last night. So what? Okay. Yes, the night is gone, but you have a day. Can you make your sunnahs before Dhuhr? Can you make your sunnahs after Dhuhr? Can you make the sunnah before Asr? You see, can you try to make up? Because you still have a part of the day. So always try to see how you can make up for your shortcoming. Nowadays, as example, you found, like I think I was talking in the students yesterday, I think, or day before yesterday, in the weekend Islamic school. They have a spring break. They call it spring break, okay? That means this a whole week. Actually, it's more than a week, okay? It's 1 week away from the school, but adding Saturday and Sunday, this became almost like 10 days. What's they going to be doing in 10 days? And they have the spring break and the summer break and the winter break, and after this they come for almost 2 months out of the school. What our children are doing during this time is something very important. This, if you add the time for your child or for yourself in a period of 10 years, that you found every year that you spending so-called breaks between weekend and summer break and every year you're losing approximately about 3 months. So in 10 days that you lost out of your life, 3 years approximately. Went to where? No place. Okay? 3 years. So if you lived to being 60 or 70 years, that means approximately 10 years gone out of your life, or 20 years gone out, 1/3 of your life gone in nothing. Okay? No memorization of the Quran, no helping Muslims, no doing anything beneficial for the family or for some. This time, killing time, is something very serious. People sitting, watching, you understand, talk show and crazy shows and all kind of dying nothing. Okay? And the moment that you ask them to participate in the mosque or to donate sometime to the mosque, understand, you say, brother, get somebody and say to do the work and we pay. Okay, how are we going to build our social life among us? How are we going to know each other as Muslims? Okay? Let's say that you're paying enough, okay? You can look on the bulletin board outside, you can see the deficit the mosque in, okay? So the people are not even paying enough for the mosque to be running, all right? So can you imagine if you get 2 or 3 people to do the work, you say, oh brother, bring somebody else, we pay for it. So you're going to hire somebody non-Muslim to give da'wah? And some of the brothers or the sisters, they are not willing to come to do a couple of days work every week. They're looking for a full-time job, or at least half part-time job. Okay? Say, no, brother, I'm looking for a job. I say, brother, I have something for you. Say, no, man, how much you going to give me? And how many days a week? Only for the weekend. No, I'm looking for employment. I understand this. Okay? So we can see time. People did not. What's the time? What's they doing with it? Almost nothing. Sitting in the house. Okay? Or playing, or whatever it is. They can even come and they play here on the ground. But at least would be encouragement for the young generation. And instead of go and play there and being among the kuffar and in bad neighborhood, they can come and see the adults here. They can do things together. They can do landscaping here together. You understand? But mosque and the community became like something scary. Okay? They don't want to be there. And after they say, brother, let somebody do the work and we pay for it. We don't need to do work. We need to build a Muslim community, people who know each other, spending time with each other, okay? Time is very important in the Muslim life. But if we are not going to raise our future generation about the importance of the time, this is going to be a destruction of our future. The Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in hadith in Bukhari is saying, what the meaning is, نعمتان مغبون فيهما كثير من الناس الصحة والفراغ. 2 great favor, 2 great blessings. A lot of people are ungrateful or abusing them. 2 favors. A lot of people are misusing them. And this is what? Health and leisure time. And this is real. How many Muslims wasting their time in something is not contributing anything to them, in their knowledge, in their information, in their experience? They are not benefiting the family, they are not benefiting the neighborhood. Can be indirect da'wah to the neighborhood, okay? See some Muslims, they understand, wearing kufis or thobe or qamis, they look different from everybody and they try to clean the neighborhood, you understand, doing anything for the general body, okay? Nothing, okay? Sitting, watch, understand, with the TV, the iPad, or for whatever it is, killing the time. And especially with the people who are young generation. So indeed, the Prophet ﷺ say, is 2 favor, 2 blessings. A lot of people are not paying attention, they are not grateful. They are not giving the proper thanks to Allah towards these 2 ni'mah. Is health and leisure time. And now when you're going to wake up, when you start to have a walker, when you have a cane, when you understand getting, I want to go to the mosque now. Before, you used to be 40 years old, we didn't see you, okay? Now, 60 and going up, now we start. Now we see in the mosque about half of the people who make Isha or Maghrib sitting on chairs. The Imam sitting on a chair, Brother Rafiq sitting on a chair, Brother Khalid sitting on a chair, Brother Mutahir Sabri sitting on a chair. So half of the people behind, understand? So this is the kind of, so when we get to know the mosque, when we try to contribute something, now when we're sitting in chairs or we're coming with a walker, and after this, how much you can give, okay? So we need to raise the generation, the future generation, about the importance of time and how they can make a good use of it. The Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is saying in the hadith, لن تزول قدم عبد يوم القيامة حتى يسأل عن أربع عن عمره فيما أفناه وعن شبابه فيما أبلاه وعن ماله من أين اكتسبه وفيما أنفقه وعن علمه ماذا عمل فيه. No human being feet will depart in the day of judgment from the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala unless he be questioned about four things. That means is the expression that no one will pass or leave, okay, the judgment unless you're going to be questioned about four things. All right? Four things. Everybody. Doesn't matter. You're old, you're sick, you was whatever. You're going to be asked about four things. Number one, you're going to be questioned about your age, the total of age. How old you was when you died? 65? Okay, let's talk about how did you use it 65. Okay? And also you're going to be questioned about your youth. Because age as a period, because yes, you slow down before you was a child, okay? And even when you reach the age of puberty, you will still try to get yourself in, okay, on the Sirat al-Mustaqim. We understand you did not comprehend everything in totality. So 10 years, 15 years gone, most of it been waste. And after this, when you got old, 55, 60, now things start to slow down. Okay? Now let's try to take the period between this 15 and 55 or 50 as example. All right? This is 35 years. What happened with it? So Allah questioning you about all your life, and Allah specifically ask you about the period of youth. How did you utilize your youth? Okay? This is two questions. Number three, okay, you're going to be questioned about your property. How did you earn it and how did you spend it? Okay? Because people may earn money from halal and they spend it in haram. They may earn it from halal and they spend it in halal. And a third person maybe earn it from haram and they spend it in halal. Or earn it from haram and spend it in haram. Okay? So this is four possibility. Okay? And of course you know that a person could not make haram project, okay, to earn money and after this give it in a sadaqah. Say I was doing this and selling khamr because everybody in America wanted a khamr and this is what brings the customer, and I was trying to build a house for the orphan. No. The Prophet ﷺ told us that Inna Allah tayyib la yaqbalu illa tayyiba. Allah is good and Allah doesn't accept anything except what is good. So you could not go get money from a lawful source and haram and usury and riba, and after this you try to make something good. Nevertheless, that you're going to be questioned by Allah about your income. How did you earn it and how you spend it, okay? And the last thing you're going to be questioned about it is what? About your knowledge. And let me focus for a minute on the word knowledge. Anytime you hear the word ilm, knowledge, in Quran or in Hadith, it talks about the knowledge of the deen. Okay? It's no harm for you to learn physics, chemistry, all these things. Okay? But we don't want to mix the cards. Okay? When there is the word knowledge, when Allah says in Quran, اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق. A lot of people say, you understand, oh, first verse came, you understand, is what? اقرأ, read. They did not continue in the verse, okay? The verses. And they go to get their master degree and no salah. Brother, Islam is about knowledge, and they understand my daughter getting her degree. Your daughter is not making salah, brother. Your daughter doesn't have hijab even. Brother, because you understand the school and you know what? No, you know and I know, and you don't have to tell me anything about know and don't know, okay? So what's the benefit of getting all these degrees and even your son or your daughter did not attend Jum'ah? You see? So anyway, the knowledge, اقرأ what? بِسْمِ رَبِّكَ الَّذِي خَلَقَ. Read in the name of Allah. Read what relate and bring you closer to Allah. And you have to learn first about Allah, His Messenger, His Deen. After this, you can learn anything you want to learn. To have a wazifa, to have a job, to have an office, to make money is no problem. But you could not neglect your obligation towards the Deen and learn the Deen and say, brother, we're going to be questioned about knowledge in the day of judgment. Allah is not going to ask you in the day of judgment about, you understand, did you know timetable or not? He's not going to ask you. And if you know the timetable, he said, no, we're going to question you about algebra. And if you understand no algebra, he said, no, no. He's going to ask you about the knowledge of what's halal, what's haram, and the deen. Okay? The early companions and the tabi'een and those who came after this, they used to be so concerned about the time more than anything else in their life, because they know the importance of time. Somebody said to a scholar, stop, wait, I want to ask you something. He said, if you can ask the angel to stop the sun, you ask me. I don't have time. I'm not stopping. I have something to do. Okay? He said the angel whom Allah ordered him to be in charge of the sun, keep dragging the sun to take it to set. Sun leave, rise and set. Rise and set. It doesn't stop. Okay? So if you can make the angel stop the sun, you can stop. I have to go. I have something to do. You understand? When people used to visit and they stay for a long time, he used to say to his guest, the angel who's in charge of the sun, keep dragging it to take it. That means I have things to do. I could not be sitting here, you understand, entertaining you guys. Alhamdulillah, we ate, we got the dessert, and after this came the ice cream, and after this is the hot tea, and after this what? Turn the TV on. No, turn it on the other channel, brother, and keep like this until 2 o'clock in the morning. Okay, guys? فَإِذَا طَعِمْتُمْ فَانْتَشِرُوا. This is a verse in the Quran, okay? That when you ate, the hospitality been provided and finished, go about your business, okay? Go about your business, because we have things to do. Yes, show your hospitality, but you could not, you understand. Hours and hours, and people start, you understand, 2 hours before the dinner, and 1 hour eating the dinner, and 2 hours after, you understand, the dinner, between the tea and the sweet, and after this, another 2 hours with the TV. Half of the day for one visit. And for 6 hours, with not one hadith or one verse been discussed. It's about politics, or what you call the soccer ball, or whatever you call it, what do you call this? Football. The football, okay? Things which is not helping anybody anything, okay? And why is this team winning and this wins that lost and all these things, okay? Al-Hasan al-Basri, may Allah send mercy in his soul, he said, I was alive until I met some people that they used to be so concerned over the minutes more than their dollar. That means their time means to them more than the dollar to you. Okay? He said it is some of the wisdom they used to say, one of the main marks of anger of Allah, that waste of the time. If you don't use your time properly, that means Allah is not pleased with you, okay? And this is a sign that you are not going too far, you are not going anywhere with this, okay? That you wasting your time, nothing, okay? Now, with the phone, and after the phone was the iPad, after the iPad is the TV, after the TV, you understand this? Okay, you got in the phone now to talk, okay? And continue like this. This is not a life. To such a degree that we see that one of the students of Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi, okay? And this one of his students by his name Yusuf, okay? That his son passed away. He asked one of his neighbors to wash his son and bury him because he don't want to miss his class with Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi. Can you imagine this? We're sitting here, started the class with 2 students, okay? Waiting for 15 minutes for somebody to show up to make it number 3, all right? And all these Muslims, okay, around Colombia, where they are, Allah knows best. What they don't, Allah knows best, okay? But, alhamdulillah, Allah bless me that I always have the nerve that somebody show up or somebody no show up, I will sit with the mic and speak and give the lecture. And after this, I record it. Because if I'm not giving it to the people today, somebody after I die, inshallah, will hear it, put it in the internet, and somebody will hear it. So, see Imam Yusuf, rahmatullah, see how he was so concerned about the knowledge. His own son died. He asked one of his closer neighbors, please take care of the funeral, okay? Wash him, bury him, do it, because I have to attend the class. This is to show how these people used to be so concerned about their time. Hopefully, inshallah, that we try to, this class, to bring something to our life, something new to us, that we start to be more concerned about our time, how to use it in something pleasing to Allah, benefit ourselves, benefit our families, benefit the Muslim community in general, try to do something for others, because we're going to be questioned about it. And we close with the reminder again, وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ. By the token of the time, indeed all mankind in a state of loss, save those who believe and do righteous deed, and encourage one another with the truth and with patience. Jazakumullah khairan. Again, our class every Tuesday, inshallah, about Tarbiyah. We start approximately about 6:45, and the class max 40 minutes to an hour, no more, inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan. It's time for Maghrib, inshallah. So, unless if anybody have any question or comments or correction, feel free to do so. Alhamdulillah. Jazakumullah khairan. You can close the adhan.